I never had written a song before I was with the Statler. I never really had time to. I knew in my heart I kind of had some things I wanted to say or sing, but I'd been there for a few months, and I said, I went to Harold and Phil and Don. I said, you know, Lou is a songwriter. I said, I kind of feel like I'm not going to take Lou's place. I don't want to do that. I just want to make a place for me.
Yeah.
And I said, to me, there'll always be 5 of us, not 4, you know, because I always wanted to, you know, never wanted to push Lou out. And I think that's probably why it worked, because it wasn't like we wanted to just, like, you know.
You didn't want to erase him
Right.
from the photos.
Right.
I mean,
and
he's still
I
part
loved
of the
him,
deal.
and I still do, and I
Yeah.
miss him. He passed away back in 1990 from his Crohn's disease and things, but that he had. I went to Harold, Phil, and Don. I said, guys, if I write a song, would you guys record it? And Harold gave me the best answer he could possibly give me. He said, well, yeah, little buddy, if it's good enough. You know, like, you know, 10 octaves lower.
You get no guarantees.
If it's good enough, yeah.
We'll at least look at it. That's
So,
what we'll promise you, is we'll look at it.
This is why I know God had his hand in all of it, because the next morning I took him Elizabeth. That was my first song that I ever wrote.
It's the first song that you wrote?
Yeah. And I sang it for him.
Oh, man. Let me just touch you a little bit. There's some magic there somewhere.
No, that was God. I mean, honest to God, it was. But it was a combination of learning all those songs all those years, doing other people's songs, and it was making me what I was and what I was meant to be, I guess, at that moment, you know. And so that was the magic that kind of got it all started, because the harmony, the melody was so magical that the harmony was beautiful.
Yeah.
And then when the harmony the music sucks you in, then all of a sudden you put a name like Elizabeth, you know, in there. And the way all that came about was we were leaving to go on a road trip, and that was when I asked him that question. But that day, I went into Kroger to get some things for the bus, to get on the bus to go on our trip to Tulsa, Oklahoma. And there was a little girl in a shopping cart, and her mom's out there, and this little girl's into everything. I mean, she's just getting into stuff, and her mom was saying, now, Elizabeth, don't do that. Elizabeth, stop that, and just kept saying it, you know, over and over. So I get out, I'm laughing about that. I get to the bus, and we're going to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Harold pulls out this movie called Giant with Elizabeth Taylor. I never had seen the movie before. They said it was one of their favorite movies, and then some of it was filmed in Virginia and Texas, and so I just fell in love with the movie, and I fell in love with her in that movie. She was just so beautiful, you know. And so I'm thinking, Elizabeth, you know, we're going there. And then we get to Tulsa, Oklahoma. We're doing a concert, and this girl comes up out of the audience, and it's a pretty tall stage, and I can see this hand up, you know, reaching up like this. So I go up to the front of the stage. I reach down, and I grabbed her hand. And she just wouldn't let go of my hand. She's looking up at me saying, I'm Elizabeth. And I'm like, I said, I had this melody. I said, this name, it keeps coming to me for some reason. And so I went back that night and wrote that song and took it to him the next day. And I actually went in the bathroom and recorded reverb.
Reverb in the bathroom.
Reverb in the bathroom. I had 2 of those little Walkman tape recorders, you know. And I'm really dating myself now, but anyway, I sang it into one, and then I played it and sang the part into the next one, and then played another part into the next one, stacked the parts so the guys could hear the harmony, because I thought that was the magic of the song, was the harmony. So I played it for them the next day on that little recorder, and they said, that's going on our first record with you, and it was a #1 song of the year, 1984.
First song you wrote. Yeah. Where the hell do you go from there, Jimmy?
Well, I was wondering that too, but then the next album was My Only Love. That was a #1 song, and that was like I'd probably written. That was my 4th or 5th song that I'd written, I guess, and then it went #1. It was Song of the Year.